Hi, I'm Honor, and welcome to the second episode of Valleycast. Today, I am joined with
Matt and Riley,
Lauren Allen,
Aaron LaMonaco,
and Andrew Ferguson.
and the four of them are seniors, and they recently finished their capstone, so they're here to talk about that. So, what capstone did you complete?
So I did an internship at a marketing company in Essex.
I did half of my hours at the dentist and half of them at the orthodontist.
I did mine with Centerbrook Architects.
I did my internship at a retirement home called Essex Meadows in Essex.
Cool. So, what were your hours like?
So I started off by doing about 9:30 to 4:30 for Mondays and Tuesdays for 6 weeks in the summer.
Over the summer, my hours varied week to week. Some weeks I would do 2 days or 3 days or no days, but my shifts were usually around 4 hours.
My shifts were usually 9 to 4, sometimes 9 to 1, depending on the day. In the beginning of the summer, I only did 2 days, but then I went to camp for like 3 weeks, so when I came back, I did a couple more days during the week.
I started literally like the week after school. I did it every Friday from 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 p.m. It was a pain.
Who was your mentor?
So my mentor was the head of the company. He was like he's called the principal, so I was just under him listening to all he has to tell me.
My mentor was just one of the dentists and then one of the orthodontists.
Mine was the associate principal of the architect firm.
Mine was Mrs. Bonin. She's the head social worker there at Essex Meadows.
How did you decide to do it there?
Well, I originally started talking to Miss Hambour in about May, knowing that I wanted to do marketing. So we were looking at her previous relations, and I found in Essex that there was a marketing company called Over Above, which was literally 5 minutes from my house. So we contacted them just by email and then set up an appointment to meet with them in person, and then it worked from there.
I've always had an interest in maybe going to dental school, so I talked to Miss Hambour, and she had prior connections with the two doctors that I worked with, so it just worked out that way. So yeah.
Mine was the same. I just talked to Ms. Hambour, and she set me up with an interview with the associate principal, and then it just started from there.
Yeah, I always had like a thing for, being that type of person to talk to. And I set it up. I had like an interview with the social worker. But Essex Meadows is geriatric, which is like older people. And I want to go into like family studies, but like I still learn like the basics of being a good social worker. So.
Okay, so what were some of your responsibilities?
Well, from week to week, my responsibilities changed. I would work with like one department and doing like statistics or like looking at all their different products that they're selling to their clients. And other weeks I would work on like their social team and like helping manage their social media pages. So it would really depend on the week, but I got a lot of different experience and a lot of different jobs within the one company.
There wasn't really too much to do, but basically I would just shadow the doctors and then sterilize their equipment.
I just sort of followed my mentor around. I got to go to meetings with him to see. We were working on the Greenwich Country School, so I got to kind of see him talking with different firms and different, like, the structural people and trying to figure out, like, what clashed. So I more just got to, like, follow him around and watch meetings and that kind of stuff, and I didn't really have my own responsibilities besides just, like, reading through stuff, but it was interesting to kind of see how everything worked.
I sat in on a lot of meetings. I sat on some person-to-person meetings just to catch up and see how the residents are doing. And I sat down and learned how the databases work, on how to keep maintain of how the residents are doing. But really my responsibility was just keep an open mind and be ready for what's next.
So, did this solidify what you want to do?
Yeah, so definitely with my experience, I really enjoyed seeing all the different aspects of one job, which would be marketing. So I was able to see all the different teams and what they're doing, and that really got me excited, and I was very excited to go into my internship each day. So yeah, it really solidified my idea of wanting to go into marketing.
My experience solidified that I didn't want to be a dentist, but although there's still other things I want to explore, I definitely would consider being an orthodontist.
I do definitely want to go into architecture.
Yeah, it definitely solidified me being a social worker because, like, every single person there had a different story to tell, and it was very interesting, like getting to know and learn these new different types of things. And like yeah, like every person was like in like a certain part of history, and I learned something new every single time I went. So most definitely.
How did it change your idea about this occupation and your future goals?
Well, one of the biggest things I learned is the difference between public relations and marketing, which I usually thought was very similar. I learned a lot between the difference in those and knowing just marketing in that field.
I learned a lot about the difference between a dentist and an orthodontist. Like a dentist only sees like around 3 to 5 patients a day, while an orthodontist sees like 20. So I liked that aspect of it more. So yeah, just solidified which one of the 2 types I wanted to be.
I found it really interesting that architects don't really work on projects individually. It's all like group work, which I found is kind of cool. But I also definitely know that I want to go into that for college and look to that for a career.
Yeah, I learned it's really important to always go in, especially for social work, because you never know what to expect. To go in with like a clear mindset, ready for whatever is to happen. And I learned that feel like I definitely want to go get my master's, do 5 years, and get because especially for social work with with family relations, it opens up bigger opportunities than you usually would get with just 4 years.
Okay, do you guys have any last words of advice?
I would say kind of like Andrew was saying, just keep an open mind. I know I had a lot going on in a bunch of different jobs, just even in one day, in one field. Just like be ready for change and adapt to whatever's going on. So keep an open mind, definitely.
I agree with that, and also I would say talk to Mrs. Hambor as soon as possible because it really helps to get it done over the summer.
Yeah, that was my point. It's really good to get it over the summer because I know some kids who are just starting it now, and it's a little difficult to try to like plan around your schedule. So at least even if you start it in the summer, you have a good chunk done, and then you can work on the paperwork and everything afterwards. But you get the experience done.
Yeah, seriously, most definitely get it done. Get it done. I did it over the summer because I know this upcoming season for track is going to be really hectic. So most definitely get it done.
Thank you for joining me, and good luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.